The ongoing trend of reformulating existing beauty products to be able to comply with new EU regulations is continuing this week, okay? It's gonna continue throughout the entire year. And remember when I told you that I thought that a lot of fragrance brands were gonna start coming out with more body care products? Yeah, hold on to your panties because that is also happening this week. And we also need to talk about the fact that Peter Thomas Roth has been mentioned in the files. Yeah, those files. Welcome to this week's new makeup releases, where I chat about the new makeup that's been released, announced, and sneak peeked. I'll let you know what's going on with the new makeup releases in the makeup industry, get you up to date about some of the news that are going on, and then you let me know down in the comments how you feel about these things and if there's anything that you want to pick up. I'm very excited to dig into some of the new makeup releases because I feel like there are some of these things that I will want to try, so we'll talk about that soon. But before we get into that, let's have a word from this week's sponsor, which is something I'm currently very excited about. I'm so thrilled to be talking to you about Laundry Sauce again. Thank you so much, Laundry Sauce, for coming back and sponsoring another video on my channel. Laundry Sauce is a laundry detergent that is more than just getting your stuff clean. Laundry Sauce is a way to give a luxurious feeling to something that not always brings the most amount of joy, which is, you know, laundering your clothes. I've been using Laundry Sauce for quite some time now, and every time I use it, I am still amazed at how great my laundry, honestly, my entire house smells. And as the owner of 2 dogs, if you have pets, you might know as well, we have to do our laundry quite a lot. They love sleeping on our blankets in our sofa, and one of them, I knew it was time for it to get a little bit of a cleanup because it was starting to not look and smell as fresh. Laundry Sauce comes in a bunch of different scents, and this is not just laundry detergent scent. This is a luxurious fragrance scent that will give your entire house this just luxurious feeling. It's like a spa, but at home. We have Siberian Pine that is just this beautiful, like outdoorsy and fresh and almost like a little bit of a masculine scent. It has pine, ginger, oak moss. It smells incredible, and I love using it on all of my clothes, but especially on my linen and my towels. They also have these little beads that you can put into your washer to boost the fragrance a little bit more, and I love doing that for my towels and for my linen, so it really just envelops me in this amazing scent when I go to bed or when I get out of the shower. And we have been having quite a lot of guests as of late, and I will say it really makes me feel like a great host being able to offer them linen and towels that smell like a 5-star hotel experience. I mean, the rest of the house is not going to be that, but the linen will smell like it. Laundry Sauce comes in packaging made of recycled materials, and the laundry detergent is already measured up into these cute little pods that you just put into the washing machine. You don't have to be measuring anything, and this is not plastic. This is something that dissolves into the washing machine. They also have fabric softener, or the one that we've been using the most, which is dryer sheets. These are so easy. You just pop them in with the dryer. They keep your clothes from being static and make your clothes extra soft and just smelling again absolutely amazing. And if Siberian Pine is not the scent for you, they also have different scents. They have French saffron, Egyptian rose, they have Australian sandalwood. All of them sound incredible, and I definitely need to try out some of the other ones as well. I'm gonna be honest with you, picking a scent was hard because they all sound incredible. And again, not only does it make your laundry smell amazing, of course it makes everything squeaky clean, because of course we're still gonna be letting our dogs be with our blankets. They enjoy the blankets, I enjoy the blankets, I enjoy the dogs with the blankets, but Laundry Sauce helps us keep the dog drool stains away but still smelling like I am living again, like in a 5-star hotel. So definitely check out Laundry Sauce down below. I will leave a link in the top of the description box, or you can scan the QR code that you're seeing right now. They did give me a discount code, so you can get some money off if you want to try Laundry Sauce as well. The code is Angelica Nyquist 15, or as the Americans like to say it, Angelica Nyquist 15. I will leave that down below as well. Again, I am utterly obsessed with Laundry Sauce, and I never want to be without. So thank you so much again for coming back and sponsoring another video. Definitely check them out down below. So I did film this look. I actually did film a video that's probably going to be live next week. It's going to be another one of those several indie palettes, several looks, and I did use the new Day Day signature palette. Some of you have been asking me, I thought you were gonna like stop uploading in 2026, and I think I've realized come this year that first, I've been doing this for a decade, and I've been full-time YouTuber for 5+ years, and it's really hard to just break a habit like that. So I have been leaning out of it. I have no longer been sticking to a schedule or an uploading time or an uploading day or the amount of videos that I need to do each week. It's been much more flexible, and that's been really lovely. I also have only been filming the kind of videos that I like to film, and I have spent absolutely 0 seconds thinking about will this go over well? Will this get views? Will this help me pay my phone bill? Because again, I'm not treating this as my full-time job anymore. So I've been doing get ready with me's and tutorials like this one here. I even filmed a palette bingo that's coming soon. I filmed a video about fragrances that I think is so much fun. And of course, my new makeup releases, which are some of my favorite videos to film. And I even filmed a dedicated review that's coming next week. That was one of the videos that I kind of stopped filming. I love doing them, but they weren't that popular. But you know what? I don't care. I love doing them. So I definitely know for a fact, nobody hold their breath. I know for a fact there's going to be less videos in February and March. But so far, because I love filming. I really do. I love makeup. But so far, it's been really fun just filming the kind of videos that I like to do. But I'm telling you right now, there's probably going to be less videos for a little bit. And also about that, while I scoochie, there will not be a new makeup releases next week. And there won't be a new makeup releases for some weeks because I simply have other commitments and I am just unable to do that. They will come back because eventually I'm gonna want to come back and talk about makeup news. But again, this goes into new year, new me, new routines. So I'm just saying right now, come next week is probably when you're gonna start seeing the most changes. But thank you everyone so much for all the positive feedback that you've been giving me. I even was talking to my friends this week and I was saying that for the first time in a while, I truly feel good. Like mentally, I feel like I'm in a good space and I want to thank you for helping me get there. Because most of you have, of course, been truly supportive. And not all, I mean, the internet is what the internet is. Not everybody wants to see other people feel good. Let's just put it like that. But let's talk about the new makeup releases. Let's quickly talk about something. No, I told you all I filmed a dedicated review. It is actually about this new sneak peek that Nomad Cosmetics put up. They're having a new product that is launching in a while and they actually sent it to me very early. So I already have it and I started filming with it. And it's really, really cute. And that I opened it and I was like, I immediately felt very inspired. So I sat down and I filmed the look and I'm going to film one more and we're gonna have something about this. This one is revealing next week and launching the week after. You can use my code Angeshka with Nomad to get some money off. But if you were intrigued by the new release from Nomad that they're starting to hint now, they're gonna give some clues, they're gonna show some, destinations and all of that, just know that I will have a video prepared on that and that one is coming soon. I also thought that this one was really interesting. This is from Nomad Cosmetics and they have dropped a new one of their little cardboard stacks. This is the Ultra Pinks Petite stack. They also released a new lash, which is called the Romeo lash, and that lash actually looks really, really beautiful. I find it very interesting because Melt used to be an indie brand and then the indie brand got very big, got very hyped. They moved into Sephora. Everybody knows that Sephora can be a brand accelerator or a brand killer. And I think for Melt, it was probably the latter. A lot of people were saying their quality went down. Some of their releases felt a little rushed. And I think it's been well known for a long time that they're trying to exit Sephora. I don't know if anything is left of Sephora, but the whole brand was heavily discounted for quite some time and they didn't launch any of their new products at Sephora. And I feel like now when they're again a brand that's only sold at their website, maybe at the retailers, I don't know, I feel like they're kind of coming back a little bit to their roots. They've been releasing a bunch of different products. They've been having lipsticks and lip liners and more eyeliners. They've been having loose powders and now they're releasing another stack. This isn't my favorite version of the stacks because it's a more bulky cardboard packaging, but I'm excited to see. I think I've said 2026 is going to be the return of visible makeup. I also think that 2026 is going to be the return of visible eye makeup, more specifically, because we've had visible cheek makeup with the blush trend that's been going on, but I also think we're going to have visible eye makeup, and maybe we are going to expand into more lip products than just the lip balm that's been so big for a while. And I'm excited to see a brand like Melt that is an indie brand that is leaning mainstream, going in and releasing a colorful stack. I think that is really, really exciting. Another brand that is launching something where I first when I saw this, I was like, I don't know about this, but then I started looking into the individual products and I actually think that I will enjoy this. And this is from Morphe. You've already seen the picture here. And this is the new Dazzling Metallics. So first when I saw this, I was like, ugh, it's another metallic collection with neutrals. Boo, boo, boo. Nobody cares. So there are eyeshadows that are a little trio with eyeshadows. I don't care about that. But I will say the gloss is a really nice quality. There are some metallic glosses. There is a new one of those trios. Like there's a cream blush, a powder blush, and a highlighter blush hybrid. And then there are cream highlighters in a stick that seems to have the same packaging as the bronzer sticks, and those are great. And then there are some eyeshadow like crayons and a liquid eyeshadow together. And that trio and those glosses and that cream highlighter, I am very intrigued by those. That trio, I can already tell that trio is gonna look great on me when I have a little bit more of a tan. Like Winter Angie is, I mean, she's not pale, but she's definitely not tan, okay? So I think that trio will be one of those where it's like, you know, I'm gonna be like dousing myself in that. So I am very intrigued by that one. I do get PR from Morphe, and I actually did get, let me put up the picture here. They released a new setting spray as well. This is like a sweat, like long wearing setting spray that is still a continuous setting mist, if I'm not mistaken. They did send this one to me. It's downstairs. I haven't used it yet. So I'm thinking maybe I'll get lucky and I'll get this collection too. If not, I do want to get that trio, because that trio looks like something I would really enjoy. I, like, quick glance, I was like, not for me. And then I looked again, and I'm like, oh, how you doing? I was like, oh, no, wait. I actually really, really want that. So I'm kind of excited about that. Can I tell you I was so disappointed when I saw what this new release from Glamlite is? It's another lip kit. I know. And I get it. They sell a lot of lip kits. People love their lip kits. But you know me, I actually don't like a lip kit. I don't really want a lip kit to be curated for me, because I usually don't go for the colors together that are in lip kits. And I'm just like, and there's like a dark lip liner with a bright pink lipstick, and then there's a bubblegum like lip gloss. And honestly, if any of these brands, like Sunday Funday, what is it called? Some of these, ROTH, what other brands are doing those squeezy tubes? If they could do a bubblegum so I can buy it separately, I do want that. I do want a bubblegum squeezy tube like that. Please and thank you. I would actually really enjoy that. I just don't want a lip kit. And I was kind of hoping that we were going to get like, you remember the cocktail palettes? I remember those when they came out with a collection of 4 palettes inspired by different cocktails. I was kind of hoping we were going to get like, you know, a couple of eyeshadow palettes inspired by candy. I don't know why I thought that was going to happen. Because again, clearly eyeshadow hasn't come back in fashion yet. But I was hoping for that, so I was kind of like, I wasn't super intrigued by it. Again, I do actually like the lip products from Glamlite. I just wish I could buy them individually. Like this one. I even have it here in front of me because I love it so much. This is the lip gloss from the strawberry cupcake shortcake. Strawberry, what's it called? Shortbread? Shortcake? Shortcake. Can you tell I didn't watch this show when I was a kid? This gloss is one of my most used lip glosses in my collection. I absolutely love it, but I don't want to buy a kit. Like I want to buy it separately. So, and I understand it's selling and everybody's loving it and it's less expensive to have it in the kit like this. Trust me, with everything. I get it. I just, for me, it makes me less intrigued by it. But I was kind of hoping for an eyeshadow palette. Maybe we'll get one later. Probably not. One though that is releasing a palette, and this is by Danessa Myricks. This is the in the Freedom range, is a mini everyday magic neutral freedom palette, and I am pretty sure, don't quote me on this, but I am pretty sure that this one is a re-release of existing shades. Let me see if they wrote something here. These are 6 of the must-have neutrals from the limited edition Viral Lightworks 7 Freedom palette. I don't know if that's the one I have. But I really don't need a palette like this that's like 6 shades. And is that the one I have? 7? It might be the one I have because that one has neutral mattes in it. I'm not sure, but if you have that palette, you can make this one yourself because you can move the shadows around. So for me, this isn't what I'm looking for. I have their mini pastel palette and it's really, really cute, but I don't need a mini neutral palette like this. And if this is shadows from the palette that I bought, I actually like those mattes not as much as I like the pastel mattes. So I think this one is not for me. It's also $48, which $48 for a 6 pan is a little bit on the pricey side. It's a little bit on the pricey side. Also, D&G, Dolce&Gabbana, released, for some absolutely mystifying reason, this the I Dare You. Yeah, I dare you to pick this one up. Beyond Multi-Finish palette. This is truly not it. This looks like something you can buy and put your own, like, you can buy it on Alibaba and put your own logo on it. I'm sorry, but what on earth is this? I really think that this looks not great. And there's like a little dangly thing with like crystals on it, which there's something about the presentation that's making my eyes water and like my eyes twitch, and I just don't think this looks, it also doesn't look Dolce&Gabbana. Like Dolce&Gabbana is like, it's like Italian, it's what you dress your Italian mistress in. Like, it's leopard print and florals and roses and gaudy and bows and red. And what is this? What is this? No, I don't like it at all. It doesn't give me any, like, ooh, I want to buy it. No, that's not how I'm feeling. We also have been able to see a sneak peek from Adept Cosmetics. This is the Sapphire Selene. This features a new chameleon sparkle powder made up of 75 gradient pearls that may appear to look like glitter to the naked eye. That's really interesting. So a new kind of sparkly eyeshadows. These are magnetic. You can pop them out. This is going to be $79. You can use my code Angelica with Adept Cosmetics. It's being named Sapphire Selene and having what seems to be 6 mattes. Again, I don't mind if a palette has more shimmers than mattes. I just want there to be some mattes in there to work with. And I really, see, this is the thing. When Adept makes good mattes, they make good mattes. And their shimmers are incredible. But sometimes their mattes aren't getting as much love as their shimmers. And I have said that before. And I really wish and hope, and maybe this is happening here, that Adept Cosmetics would work as much on perfecting their matte formula as their shimmer formula, because I do think that now when they're starting to do like a palette that's 2/3 shimmers and 1/3 matte, I think they're getting into a ratio where they can attract even more customers that haven't already discovered Adept, because having no mattes or having like 2 mattes, I feel like for a lot of people isn't enough. So this one having, it seems to be, again, dark and light and mid-tone mattes and then an array of shimmers. I think this could be nice. I also like the marbled front. I'm still not over marble. Listen, I'm a millennial. Okay, I love a good marbled product. Sapphire Selene. See, I'm gonna keep my eye on this. It might be one I pick up. Also, let's bring up like some Sephora news. One of them being that Tarte has announced that Shape Tape is coming to Sephora. For the longest time, Shape Tape was Ulta exclusive. I'm guessing they signed a, what year are we in? Maybe an 8-year contract or something. So Shape Tape was exclusive to Ulta, but now it's coming to Sephora as well. I'm guessing the contract ran out and they didn't renew it. I think this is probably really smart for Tarte to be able to have their Shape Tape at Sephora as well. And I think that probably that will be a good, so if you love the Shape Tape products, they're now going to be able to, you will be able to find them soon at Sephora as well. Also, a perfume brand that I'm very, very intrigued by, and I want to smell more of them. They're coming to Sephora, and I don't know if they're going to be online exclusive or not, but it is Born to Stand Out. And Born to Stand Out has some very, very interesting fragrance profiles that we have talked about here before. And they have announced that they're coming to Sephora February 24th. It says coming to Sephora globally. That's a big deal. And it says it's coming to Sephora. It doesn't say online exclusive, so we will keep our eyes on this. Another thing that is dropping soon, and this is from Tarte, and they're coming out with their Major Skin Soft Blur Brightening Hydrating Concealer. That's a really, really long name. Really, really long name. 25 shades, $34 each. This is not an affordable brand. Nobody is surprised. It's also coming with a dual-ended brush. I will say I've had the worst luck with Tarte. You know what? period. I've had the worst luck with Patrick Ta. There's very few products that I've tried where I'm like, yeah, this is worth the high price tag. I don't think that this brand is just made for me. I've had much better luck with Makeup by Mario, much better luck with that brand. So this is probably not going to be something that I try out, if I'm going to be honest. I think I'm just going to skip this. This is coming February 15th, so very soon, on the Sephora app, and February 16th on the rest of the website, and 19th in stores. I'm guessing it's going to be online exclusive on the Sephora app on the 15th. I think I'm going to sit this one out, y'all, because I just have not been jiving with any of their you know what? The brow product, the one they discontinued. Yeah, that's the one I loved. Which clearly tells me that the one thing I love from the brand is the one thing they're getting rid of. Which tells me either I'm cursed, I'm getting the Samantha Ravndal curse, or it's not the brand for me. Which is fine. Not every brand has to be for me. Another thing that is coming soon, and somebody actually asked me not too long ago, and I'm answering your question now, what happened to that quad by YSL? There was like a turquoise quad. I never saw that in store. And it seems like that was a super early sneak peek into the spring and summer collection by YSL. So YSL are releasing 5 new Couture mini clutch eyeshadow palettes. They're coming for spring 2026, and they're going to be $69 each. And you can tell that there is like a baby pink, there is one that's like cool tones-ish with some pastels, there's a neutral one, and then there is a plum one and a turquoise one. I don't need to pick any of these up, but I will say this is one of the most interesting colorways that we've seen from a luxury brand in a bit. Wait till you see. Wait a couple of more minutes and you can see something else that is not this thrilling at all. And it is really refreshing to see, I'm gonna be honest. So yeah, if you've been wondering what happened to that sneak peek, it was just sneak peeked way too early, and it's coming out now for spring. I've also talked a lot about like trends. A lot of trends come from either mainstream brands that are more in the mid-range or like cutting edge. I'm talking like Danessa, Myricks. They bring out a lot of things for the first time, breaking trends, coming up with new things. I've talked about that before. Being a good brand isn't about giving customers what they want. It's about giving them something they didn't even know they could have. And indie brands have been the same as well. A lot of trends that are happening in the beauty community started with the indie brands. They have shorter lead times, they can order smaller quantities, and they can test out products in a way that mainstream brands usually cannot, especially the ones in brick and mortar. And I've said that usually it starts with indie brands, it seeps into the mid-range brand, and then eventually it's going to come into like drugstore brands and luxury brands. And once it reaches drugstore brands and luxury brands, that usually is where the trend dies, because they're usually the last ones to come out with it. I don't know why those brands are so slow. But speaking of that, Lancome, that is definitely seen as one of the more not following trends so much mainstream brands, very much a high-end brand, they are releasing body perfume sprays. So I can tell you right now, this is probably the beginning of the end of that trend. And I think when 2026 ends, people are going to be excited or as excited about something else instead. Even Sol de Janeiro actually said in an article, I don't know if I talked to you about that they were also looking for the next big thing, because they also realized that the trend of super hype body sprays are not going to last forever. So Lancome is coming out with 3 body sprays that are based on their La Vie est Belle scent. They're also coming out with a new fragrance that is the La Nuit Trésor Rouge Drama Perfume. And that one actually has another trend that was super popular last summer. Again, they are so late, which is a strawberry perfume. They're very late to this game. So the hair and body sprays are La Vie est Belle Original, which is floral, caramel, iris patchouli. And then the Elixir, which is raspberry violet cocoa, which sounds really delicious because I love those notes, especially violets. And then they have the vanilla nude, which is vanilla, jasmine, and musk. Again, I don't know if these are going to be hyped. I'm going to be honest with you. I think that... Again, I think not that the trend's gonna die, but I think this is where it stops being a trend. Maybe that's what I should say. So I think end of 2026, we are gonna be as excited about something else instead. Speaking of fragrances, because we did talk about this briefly last week, and I was like, I was kind of like thinking, I'm like, what is this really? But now we have an answer. So this is the Sol de Janeiro Jelly Perfume Balms. And it is the jelly sticks. You know, the ones that were famous, made famous by Milk Makeup. And now a lot of brands have them. But they made them into perfume sticks. Genius. And I'm telling you right now, this will not be the last time you hear about this. More brands are going to do jelly sticks with perfume. Great for traveling, great on the go, a really smart way of distributing perfume, especially if it's long lasting. I don't even love these original Sol de Janeiro scents, but I will definitely be trying one of these out. So it is the original Cherryosa 62, you know, the pistachios, the salted caramel, blah, blah, blah. Then it is the Cherryosa 40, which is black amber plum, creme de cassis, jasmine. I think I need to smell that one again because I do love, again, creme cassis. I love cassis in fragrances. But then it is like the warm musk, orchid, blooms, I don't know. But then there's also Cherryosa 68, which is the pink dragon fruit, lychee, jasmine, ocean air, hibiscus, vanilla, sun musk. That one to me is just sweet and warm skin scent. It's not, these are not my favorite scents. I do think that Sol de Janeiro, I love their like body butters. I feel like their scents make the most sense in body butters, but I really do want to try this out because I think this is the kind of innovation that we kind of need. And now I'm wondering, will this be the next trend? Because again, Sol de Janeiro did say they wanted to come up with a new trend. Is this it? And to bring it back, one of the things that I said, we're going to see more perfume brands bring out more body care products, which is going to be a luxury, elevated version of something that we are used to not spending that much money on. Body oils, body butters, shower gels. Josie Maran is coming up with their scents in shower like gels. I'm thinking shower oils as well. I'm thinking a lot of products that we until now, most people were not willing to spend, whatever are these going to be, $30 maybe? Oh, wait, so $22 and then you can get a refill for $39 and you can get a travel version for $9. You know what? That is not that bad. That is not that bad. 250 milliliters, not an awful small amount of product. You know what? I don't think that that's that bad. But most people asked them 10 years ago, are you willing to spend $22 on a body wash? Would probably say no. But today, if you ask someone that's into beauty, would you be able to spend $20, $30 on a body wash? I think they would say it depends on which one. And I think that that is where the trend is going. And I would not be surprised if we see even more brands, like I said, Fleur, Ellis Brooklyn, now we see Josie Maran. I would not be surprised, Kayali, if they were to bring out even more things with their scents, because right now we are in a trend where people want to fragrance every aspect of their life and they want to layer fragrances and they want everything to just add to their like fragrance profile of the day. Let's talk about the reformulations from Tom Ford. So they say that they have redesigned the eye color quads, and I think, again, this is me speculating. I don't think that these are available yet. I think that this is because they have formulated them without talc. Because the original quads from Tom Ford does have talc, and even the last one that came out, the one that was with the Fig collection, that is like a new, also has talc in it, which is a little bit surprising. So I'm thinking that they're probably reformulating it a little bit, because they've also come out with some other colorways, and they've also come out with newly redesigned Soleil eye color quads. They're almost here with a mix of new and favorite color stories. And again, I would not be surprised if this is the brand just reformulating a lot of powder products, because we have seen other brands do that as well. Like, it's just the name of the game. I don't think that people like want to. Again, also new lineup of soft matte blushes. You saw the collage here, you saw all the things, and they're scheduled to launch for spring 2026. And I would not be surprised again if all of this new lineups are just a way for them to get rid of formulas that have talc, but we won't know until we see it. I don't think that any of these colorways seemed interesting to me, but again, Tom Ford, I don't think the brand is trying to get my money. They're not catering to me. Another brand that is coming out with something new is Nars, and they're releasing the new Natural Matte Longwear Pore Blurring Medium to Full Coverage Foundation. I think that this is a reformulation of their other matte foundation that they had. And while I did think that that foundation was pretty good, I thought that that foundation was a little bit too full coverage and a little bit too thick to work on my skin that is, not as firm, getting some fine lines. I am in my 40s. So I think that this is probably a new release of that. And this is me guessing, I'm speculating. I'm guessing they're going to get rid of that matte foundation and have this one instead. And maybe they also decided to reformulate, because I don't know of the ingredients if they needed that, because they're not trying to say that they're reformulating. But I would not be surprised. Should we go in and see at the Sephora if that Nars foundation is still full price or not? Because I would not be surprised if we saw that one on sale. Hold. Okay, I'm on the app right now, and this is the foundation that I mean, the soft matte. And I am not seeing any shades whatsoever. I'm only seeing one shade. And now I want to go and see at the computer if that's true or not. Because, again, are we getting rid of this or not? Yes, it is as we suspected. The foundation right now on Sephora only comes in one shade. All the other shades are sold out and gone from the website. And when you go to Nars' own website, they only have about half of the shades in stock, maybe a little bit more than a half. And when I Googled the foundation to see if it was in stock somewhere else, the first non-Nars website response that I got was a Reddit thread that said, is this foundation getting discontinued? So I think it's safe to say that what I thought was going to happen is probably what is happening, and that this foundation is about to be discontinued. There is also a new product coming from Nabla. Actually, it's available now. This is the Angel Aura Bright. This is a luminous lotion with a multidimensional radiant plumping and hydrating effect. I think this is like a hydrating primer with an illuminating effect. It's supposed to give a sophisticated halo effect. The perfect bridge for a bit in between makeup and skincare. This product is available now. It comes in 2 different sizes, which I think is really smart. And this one is actually being delivered to me today. I was actually thinking, as again, I feel like I miss Nabla. I love Nabla makeup, and I was like, I'm gonna film a full face of Nabla. And then immediately the day that I said I'm filming it today, I got a message from Nabla saying, our new PR package is coming this week. So I'm getting this package today, and I'm gonna film it, and eventually soon I'll have a full face of Nabla, and I will be including this new product as well because it looks yummy. I want to include it. I also just got, let's talk about new brands. One that is new and one that is more of a comeback. And that is that Cardi B has said that she is coming out with a Grow Good Beauty. It's gonna be a hair care brand. I know nothing about this other than, sure, I feel like a lot of celebrities have come out with hair care brands. Jennifer Aniston did, Beyonce did, and now Shakira did, and now Cardi B is. Maybe hair care is like the place to be. Maybe there's a lot of growth potential there. I have no idea, but it says it's coming 2026, which is this year. And also the comeback of MARC Jacobs Beauty. We talked about this a while ago, and I did say when we talked about this, I said, listen, don't hold your breath. This will take years. So Trend Mood was able to find some information, maybe, I don't know, maybe someone sent it to her, I don't know, but she just put it up on her Instagram that the MARC Jacobs Beauty is coming out soon. It's going to be in 2026. So MARC Jacobs Beauty, I don't remember who owned it, but I know they like sold the rights, like MARC Jacobs, the brand, sold the rights to do the makeup from one manufacturer to another. And that's what happened with like the ones that were doing MARC Jacobs Beauty lost the contract. The contract wasn't re-signed again when it like the time was up, and they decided to go with someone else instead. And when that happens, usually everything just gets scrapped and they just like kind of start over. You've seen it with a lot of brands. You saw it happening with KKW Beauty. She did that a couple of times. Even like Nomad Cosmetics did it. And there's been a couple of brands that have done something similar when they have been bought up by a different, or like changed who they're owned by, or who has the rights to produce it. And I don't remember who has the rights right now, but it is coming out 2026. And I'm just saying right now, it is not going to be the same products. It is not going to be the same formulations. It is not going to be the same colors or things. Everything that comes out are going to be new products. It might be similar to some of the products from before, but I can almost promise you that it's not going to be the same formulations or even the same manufacturers, because usually they work with different, like, I don't think that the brand owns their formulations because they were made by like this beauty brand or beauty conglomerate owned the rights to do Market Your Beauty, and they owned the formulation. So I'm just telling you right now, if you think that, oh my god, the bronzer, the highlighter, the eye pencils are finally coming back, I don't want to be the one. Listen, don't kill the messenger, okay? I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm just telling you right now, that's probably not what's happening. We've also seen, this is just a sneak peek. I don't know what this is. I'm guessing it's going to be something strawberry based on what we're seeing here. But it seems like 2 new mists are coming from Ellis Brooklyn. They did just recently relaunch their mists. And it was exactly like I thought it was going to be, because they actually sent it to me. I'm looking at it right here. Instead of glass bottles, it is plastic bottles, which probably took down the production cost quite a lot, and also shipping costs, because plastic doesn't weigh as much as glass. And the plastic bottles are, I think they're the same price, but you get more product in them, which again makes total sense. And now they're hinting that they're coming out with 2 new of these scents, and they are going to be on the Ulta Beauty app exclusively for first preview, first access, on the 15th of February. So I don't know what this is going to be. And then it's coming exclusively to Ulta.com on the 20th and at Ulta stores on the 5th of March. So keep your eyes open. I know I will, because I want to see what this is. There has been a bunch of Ellis Brooklyn scents that I've been really, really obsessed with. And I love their banana milkshake fragrance that did come back actually in the body sprays. I think it is a yummy milky banana cocktail, like a boozy cocktail. I think it's so nice. So I cannot wait to see what this is going to be. I hope it's something yummy. I have a few more things I want to talk about. One of them is that Say is coming out with the Super Suede Radiant Talc-Free Baked Powder Bronzers. So again, talc-free is the new, well, that's what everyone is doing now, because again, if you want to sell in the EU, you're gonna have to go talc-free basically. I think this is the last year that they're giving us like a little bit of a grace period. These are gonna be $32 each. It seems to be coming in 6 different shades. They say Super Suede Radiant, which means they're probably gonna have a little bit of glow to them. That sounds really beautiful, honestly, and I could be intrigued by that. We've also seen a couple of new products by NYX Cosmetics. They are doing their second collab. Or is this the third one? I think this is the second one with Bridgerton. Did you watch the new series? I've always loved Sophie, even in the books, and I love Sophie in the series so much. The actress is really making her, like, doing her justice. I absolutely love it. But these are going to be some more products in the Bridgerton collab that NYX have had from before. There's going to be lip kits. Again, you know how I feel about lip kits. Not my absolute favorite. And there's also going to be some kind of it's a mirror, and then there is like a sparkling body powder. Again, none of this is for me, but I will say I did buy the highlighter from the last collab that they did, and that one is A+++. Was I out of focus for a long time, or was that just like when I caught it? I don't know. If I was out of focus, I'm sorry. I'm back in focus now. But Michaela has announced that her brand, POV Beauty, she says basically, you created your dream fragrance that you cannot wait to share with the world, and when you're in NYC for the photo shoot, all of your dreams are truly coming true. I don't know what kind of fragrances Michaela is into. I feel like I'm one of the few people that do not keep up with her like at all. I'm not on TikTok at all, so I don't watch any of her stuff, so I don't know what kind of fragrances she's into, but I'm into fragrances, and I'm not above trying something if it sounds like something for me. But I will say, most people are not into the kind of fragrances that I'm into. It's probably going to be a vanilla, floral, gourmandy, you know, thing, and that's usually not what I go for. But I'm not about trying it if it's something new, and I am excited to see a brand like this come up with something totally different, which is a fragrance. So I'm excited to see what it is, but I'm not holding my breath that it's going to be something that I enjoy, because it's probably not going to be. Okay, let's talk about the fact that Peter Thomas Roth, which is the owner and creator, I don't know if he is now the owner of the skincare brand Peter Thomas Roth, but his actual name is Peter Roth, and he has been found in the Epstein files. I'm not going to delve into this too much because I'm trying to not get like flagged by YouTube, but he has been found more than 50 times in the files. I think we can all agree that nobody should want to be associated with Jeffrey Epstein, although and I think we can agree that Jeffrey Epstein, not a great person. You should not want to be associated with him, although it is shocking to see the amount of people that are in those files. But a lot of things in these emails are very bad for Thomas Roth. And it is basically, there are emails. He used to be his teacher. Let's start like that. Jeffree used to be Thomas' teacher. I know, crazy. Worlds are colliding. Already there is not great. But they kept in touch. And they kept in touch even after his conviction, which, if that was not a wake-up call, I don't know what needs to be a wake-up call for you. And he even says in one of the emails to Ghislaine, you know, Jeffree's associate, I don't know what to call, like, it's all just so awful. Please also let him know, him being Jeffree, we know he did nothing wrong. This is after the conviction. Wild. And we'll always love him and be our friend forever. I think it's safe to say that the brand Peter Thomas Roth will have a really hard time surviving after this. Although I will say, I mean, the amount of people mentioned in these files that have seen no fallout whatsoever from it, rough. It's a rough time to be alive, and not good for anyone's mental health. But I can very easily say that I think I'm good on the brand. Yeah, there's a lot of good skincare brands out there, so I think just eating one out, I think that's fine by me. So with that being said, I think that will be it for today's video. I'm gonna have a lunch break with my husband. He's working from home, and then I'm gonna be editing this video, and of course, wearing this beautiful look. I hope you're having a great day. And like I said, next week, there will be a couple of videos that I have filmed, just, you know, doing tutorials, having a great time. And if you love those more old school videos, please check in, maybe leave a comment. It truly means a lot to me. And if not, that's totally fine. Don't watch things you don't want to watch. There's definitely enough things on YouTube that are great. So if what I'm producing is not what you're interested in, no hard feelings. I'm not upset about that at all. But I hope you're having a great week. And again, thank you so much, Laundry Sauce, for sponsoring another video on my channel. Absolutely obsessed with Laundry Sauce. I talk about them with all my friends at all opportune moments because I just think they make an amazing product. But I will see you, I don't know. I'll see you soon in the video.